Well, hello, nice to meet you all. I'm very happy to be here today at the International Aviation Software Summit. I'm Valentin Brossard, I'm the CEO of Hionos, and today I will explain to you how we actually tackled some challenging in software development, and especially in the drone industry, which is quite challenging. First, regulation concerning drones in US and in Europe are not the same, they're different. By the way, you can find some similarities between these two regulations. It's a risk-based regulation, meaning that the lower risk, the lower constraint you will have on your aircraft. And of course, the higher risk, the higher constraint you will have on your aircraft. But there are basically three different categories. And on the two riskiest categories, the medium and the high risk category, you will be required to prove a certain level of, let's say, design acceptance level. And this design acceptance level concerning the software will be DO 178C and ED12C. So this is the same actually, whether you are in Europe or whether you are in the US. So when this is done, this actually creates quite some challenges for the drone manufacturers, especially for the autopilots. So you have to, you need an autopilot that has to meet very demanding standards like the DO 178C or the ED12C. Of course, this drive cost up, and the time of development is also quite long. The other thing is that drones have different characteristics, so the autopilot need to be very specific. This also drives the cost up because you cannot really use a component off the shelf. You will almost all the time have to develop by yourself a very specific autopilot, and this requires a lot of time and a lot of money. But the bad thing here is that the market, the drone market, is not the same as the manned aviation market, and this market requires you to have an autopilot that will actually reach all these objectives at a reasonable cost. So basically what we see here is that both the regulation and drone characteristics are driving costs, development cost high, and the market is driving costs down. So there is us, the software development industry that is interested into drones, have to find a way to meet all these objectives that are sometimes not very easy to meet. So our goal here is to mix the advantages of component of the shelf software and with the one of tailor-made software. Actually, what we are, the technique we have developed allows to reduce the certification cost, but also to use tailor-made software that will be developed by the manufacturer himself, but also to reuse existing software that will, of course, allow to reduce the cost and the time of development down, and to do fast prototyping that accelerates the development, hence drive cost and time down. So this techniques is a mix of component of the shelf software and tailor-made software that should help manufacturers to meet the requirements of both the safety and the regulation in the market. So how it works? We actually started by developing a component of the shelf autopilot, but this autopilot, the software autopilot, has a big specificity. It has been architecture with a component architecture. It means that the autopilot is in fact just the gathering of several components. But what is a component? A component is a software block that has input, output, and a responsibility. And the very interesting thing here is that all these components are independent one another. And of course, these components have been developed using DO 178C compliant process. So we do have an autopilot, which is actually just the gathering of several components that are independent one another. This is the main thing to remind during this presentation. And Pulsar, the autopilot, is just the gathering of all these components. And the fact that these components are independent one another gives the abilities to manufacturer to make modification to such component without having to impact all the other components. So what we provide is, let's say, an environment a development environment that allows manufacturer to modify parts of the components that need to be specific to the drone they are using. It can be, for example, I don't know, the communication protocol that has to be very specific with this specific operation, or it can also be the flight controls law that have to be specific if at some point the drone has a very specific architecture or a very specific behavior in flight. But it's pretty often that just part of the autopilot has to be modified and not the whole autopilot. So this environment, which is called Pulsar Factory, allows the manufacturer to modify just part of the autopilot without impacting all the other components. And in fact, as long as these IOs are respected, the manufacturer is completely free in this development. So this is the main concept. But after that, how it works. The first thing is to decide with the manufacturer which component will be reused from the autopilot. Then all these components are placed in the environment, in the development environment. And this development environment will be also configured with this hardware specificities, the electronic board, and the system architecture that can be, for example, if redundancy is required in this aircraft. And then we will also use as an input the component that has been developed by the manufacturer himself. And this component can be developed in ADA, C, or Simulink. It means that in the development environment, you will find maybe 80% of the autopilot, and the 20 missing percent will be developed by the manufacturer, but just the 20% that are really specific to the aircraft. So once this is done, Pulsar Factory, the development environment, will actually gather all these pre-existing certifiable components that has been developed previously with the new component developed by manufacturers. And then the gathering of all these components makes a dedicated autopilot that will be completely adapted to the aircraft and to the operation. And the environment also gives you the ability to download this new autopilot to the hardware and then to go to the flight test. It might be flight test, but it can also be a test on an Iron Bird or even in simulation. And the pretty interesting thing here is that the manufacturer can iterate as many times as required between the flight test and the modification of its component. And this can be done without any intervention of the manufacturer, let's say the companies that previously developed all the components that are certifiable. It means that during all the development phase of the components, the manufacturer do not have to call or to request modification to the company that provided the certifiable components in blue. So how does it work if someone wants to start such a project? The first thing is to agree with the manufacturer which are the specificities of the drone and which component will have to modify. And this is the development environment configuration, the Pulsar Factory configuration. Once this configuration is done, we actually make the installation to the premise of the manufacturer and ensure that the manufacturer will be able to go from code modification to the first flight. And once this is done, at the end of step 2, the control and common laws, for example, can be developed by the manufacturer. And the tests in flight or on Iron Bird can be done also by the manufacturer. And one more time, there can be as many iterations between step 3 and step 4. And once the control and command laws are fully developed, we can deal with certification or at least with DO 178C compliance or ED12C compliance. But what is very interesting here is that the certification activities will just have to be performed on the components that have been modified by the manufacturer and not on the whole software. It meant that somehow around 80% of the certification is already done by the provided certifiable components. So it really reduces the time of certification for in terms of cost and in terms of time. To end with that, there is a small use case where that we've done with one of our customers, and in this very specific situation, the manufacturer has a hybrid drone that will take off vertically and then fly like a plane. So it wanted to develop the specific control and command laws because the transition phase between vertical flight and horizontal flight are very specific. So we took around 1 week to define the interfaces between the component that has to be modified by the customer and the rest of the software. And then during 2 months, we made this modification to the development environment. And during this time, the manufacturer was able to develop by himself a prototype of the control and command laws. And after this phase, during around 1 week, we made the integration with the new version of the development environment and the flight control models that had been developed by the manufacturer. And then in the week after, we made the first flight together. And from that step, the manufacturer is fully autonomous in developing its own control and command law until the behavior is sufficiently clean to the manufacturer. And it can be done that in a very iterative and incremental way, which is pretty efficient for some prototyping phase. And I think that's it. Thank you for watching and have a nice conference. Bye.